Hello again, it's Heather here with one wig in two colors. This is a review of May by Noriko. May has a standard cap construction and features some permatease at the crown. She is a standard bob that falls slightly above the shoulders but about 2 inches below the chin on most people. I got the idea to sample this one in the shades I'll show you today by a video blogger named Cynthia in Texas, and I thought that these wigs were really beautiful, but I wanted to see what they would look like on a rounder face shape. So with that in mind, I'm going to be presenting these to you today. The first color I'm demoing is Auburn Sugar R. It is a rooted shade, which means it's going to have dark brown right at the hairline where the roots should be. And then it has all these beautiful, beautiful highlights throughout. This color is, as you can probably see, essentially a light brown with strawberry blonde and dark blonde highlights throughout. And Noriko and Renee of Paris and Amore, they're all very, very good at providing a little bit more highlight at the front than they do in the back, which is how highlighted hair should look. It's not anything really apparent. It's not an obvious change in color, but it does help the wig look a little bit more professionally done. I really appreciate that. So I'm going to show you what it looks like on the sides and in the back in this color. This is the side and the back. You can see it's not a very long wig. I'll show you the other side and where it falls. And it seems to move pretty naturally. It has a longer bang that can be swept off to the side, or if you can train it, put it in some cold water, put it on a wig stand overnight, and you could train it to sort of fall off your face so it's not going like that all the time. But even that's kind of attractive looking, so it's up to you. So let's take a look at the cap. The cap on May is standard, which means it has a lace front and the open wefts in the back. Now this is quite nice because even though the wig might fit a little snug at first, wefted standard caps are very, very, very forgiving. Just get it wet and then let it dry on a wig stand overnight, and it will kind of relax over time. And as you wear it, the wig cap will actually relax a little bit too. So if you first get it and it seems a little snug, don't worry, it will relax as you wear the wig. And one other thing I'd like to point out, for me it's not a big deal because I don't have necessarily a sensitive scalp. I don't have a lot of thinning up here at my hairline. Mine's basically a diffuse all throughout, as a lot of people with androgenic alopecia might have. But as you could hear, my cat is running around, so sorry about that. This is a very small operation, but I digress. So one thing I want to point out is that because they use permatease in these standard cap wigs with Noriko to kind of obscure the hairline so it looks a little more natural and doesn't draw any obvious attention to that area, that permatease does kind of extend up to the front of the hairline. And I can barely notice it. But if you have a really, really sensitive scalp, and I'll show it to you right here, you might be able to see that fuzz? Like I said, I don't notice it. But if you have a sensitive scalp, you may want to steer clear of a standard cap and try to go for something that's maybe got a double monofilament top, because it's going to be gentler on that front part of your hairline. If you don't have a lot of thinning there, like I don't, you probably won't even notice it. So there's one thing to keep in mind. Now I'm going to take off Auburn Sugar and put on Cayenne Spice, so you can see what that one looks like. Now I tend to use dark wig caps. And that's just because the hair underneath is dark, and the colors I tend to veer towards are on the dark side. But nude caps would work just as well because this is a standard wig, so you're not going to be able to see through this cap anyway. And there are adjustable straps on the inside. They'll loosen up the wig by about a ½ inch. So get it situated on your hairline and then find the ear tabs on the side. You'll want to make sure that they're even on each side and then lying flat up against your scalp. And this color is a little more dramatic. I love reds. This is a beautiful, beautiful striking red color, and it's not fake looking. It just looks like something you had done at the salon, which is great. This is Cayenne Spice, which is again a rooted color, so it's got that very dark brown root. And this one has an even more pronounced gradation of color than the Auburn Sugar. Auburn Sugar has the root, but then it tends to be a similar color throughout with the highlights. This one has a sort of dark brown base with a bright auburn highlight throughout. It's quite striking. And in the bottom, at the tips, and in the back, it goes back to that dark brown color. So I'll show you the sides and the back now. Again, very, very natural movement on this wig. The hair fibers for Noriko, Renee of Paris, and Amore seem to be very silky, lightweight. This wig will be a really nice one for the summer because even though it's a mid-length, it's not particularly heavy or bulky. It's got just the right amount of hair. You can see that dark color at the bottom. This is a very pretty wig. Again, you can see that there's this permatease up at the top, just a small amount. And in fact, I think it's almost the perfect amount of permatease to help this wig keep its structure. So you're not going to have football helmet hair. It's not going to go way up sky high. It's just a little itty bitty bit of bounce in the back to give it some kind of interesting focal point. The wig has very long, long bangs that can either be swept off to the side, which is probably how I'd prefer it. It's more comfortable that way. Or they can be combed down, which is also quite flattering, especially if you have a fuller face. So this is May by Noriko, and I definitely give it a thumbs up. Thanks. Bye-bye.